important tip that I like to share with couples has to do with split families. Now, many of us have divorced parents or step parents, and sometimes those two parties don't always mesh well. Well, if you don't have this issue, then you're definitely one of the few and lucky. But I wanted to prepare anyone that does have the situation to know exactly how to handle that. And I think the first step is to have a basic conversation with both parties so that you're on the same page. So you're prepared for the wedding day, and maybe even putting together a seating chart that would, give both parties their own separate space during the wedding and the reception as well. And another good tip is to really communicate that with your photographer, because in my experience, knowing who's going to be in what photos, creating a list that really facilitates that photo process being easy will really help you feel more calm about taking those photos. So I hope that helps kind of leading up to your wedding day. Another great tip that I like to share has to do with potential controlling family members. Now, sometimes, it's maybe an in-law, maybe it's an aunt or a sister, someone that, feels that it's their job to step in and take care of the situation. Well, as a bride, this can be very frustrating. And I think it's best to really address the situation before the wedding day. By having a simple conversation with your mom or the groom's mom or, someone that you might foresee as overstepping their boundaries, I think really helps leading up to the wedding day, because you don't want to have like a momzilla or anything. And sometimes it can really help to just have your photographer even kind of take the reins, especially with some family photos, or if you have a wedding planner that can really take care of helping assure your mom or whoever the person is, everything's gonna be fine. We have it all taken care of. We have this itinerary. We know what time it is. We know what time the cocktail is gonna be. And, maybe even bringing your family member a glass of champagne always helps. Now, what do you do if something, God forbid, happens to your wedding dress on your wedding day? Well, I've seen this happen a couple times, and it's not a very happy situation for the bride. But a couple different things that you can do in preparation for that can really save you a lot of frustration on your wedding day. Now, one of the stories I wanted to share actually has to do with right after the ceremony, the officiant and the bride and groom gathered, and someone brought over a glass of wine for the bride, and I was taking a photo, and somehow the bride actually spilled a tiny drop of wine in a really embarrassing area, and it was right before all of the family photos were gonna take place. So luckily, the maid of honor, because she was on top of it, she got my special secret tip. She actually had a Tide stick, a stain stick, right there in her little bag, and she easily came over, rescued the bride, took care of the situation, and really saved the day. So another situation that I had a bride, it was kind of crazy because she actually brought her dress in, took it out of the bag she had just picked up from the dress shop, and there's this huge smudge, almost like a oil smudge on her dress. Mystery how it got there, and I was literally working with the coordinator minutes before the wedding, helping to scrub it out and kind of helping the situation. But we did get it out, luckily. And an easy tip for that we actually used was by creatively pinning the train so that you couldn't really even notice the stain. And if anything, I can Photoshop it out too. You can definitely ask your photographer if that's something that they can take care of for you. And creatively pinning the dress or the train to cover up that stain can often eliminate any need for worry. We've all heard horror stories about brides, grooms, or even bridal party members passing out during the ceremony due to nerves. Well, that can also be caused by starvation, because a lot of times, brides feel that, oh, they have to squeeze into that dress and I better not eat. But let me tell you, from my experience, it's very important that you have a balanced breakfast, lunch that day while you're getting ready with your girls. It's really important to have some snacks around while you're having your hair and makeup done, so that you can really feel like you have enough in your stomach to, if you do feel nervous, you can really handle that. And also make sure to have lots of water, staying hydrated, because during your reception you might have some drinks, and obviously you want to remember all of your special memories from your day. So it's definitely important to make sure to eat and drink plenty of water. Now, a lot of the weddings that I do are in Southern California, but I travel worldwide to capture special wedding days for people. And one of the things that I've seen a lot of is the dreaded rainy day wedding day. Now, obviously you can't really control the weather and you can only understand a forecast to a short amount of time. Obviously you can't postpone the wedding, rain or shine. And luckily these days they say, hey, it's lucky if you get married and it rains. So there's some little things that you can really do to ensure that your guests have the best experience if it does rain on your wedding day. And I know as a photographer, there's some special filters that I use on my camera that can still make it look more sunny, so it's not, gloomy if the sky's gray. And then also, be prepared if you do have that outdoor ceremony or outdoor reception, that you have an option for a tent or, last minute rental option for a different space as well. So even by, picking up some umbrellas for your guests, if it does, forecast raininess. And, if anything, it makes a great story for your guests. But there are some little things that you can do in preparation just in case it rains on your day.